Hey everyone, John here from testprepinsight.com, and today I'm going to be evaluating the Kaplan MCAT prep course. I'll be covering all the major pros and cons that you need to be aware of. That way you have a balanced, unbiased view of the Kaplan prep materials. And just so you know, myself and the rest of the team here have actually purchased the Kaplan MCAT course. We've used it to prep and really tested out and dissected all of their key features like video lessons, practice tests, books, and more. So I think if you keep an open mind, this video should give you everything you need to make an educated purchase decision. Now if you're ready, let's get to it. Alright, let's dive right in. So I should probably mention that since I'll just be focusing on the major pros and cons in this video here today, if you feel like you need more detail at any point, there's a couple easy options for you. First, I'll have links down in the description below over to Kaplan's website where you can check out this MCAT prep course for yourself. And I'll also have a link over to our website where we have a full detailed written review of this course. Or easier yet, you can always just Google Test Prep Insight Kaplan MCAT review. That's a great way to get there too. Okay, so let's talk about the first aspect of this Kaplan MCAT course that I really liked, and that's the video lessons. The MCAT is a really content-heavy exam with tons of testable material on complex biological processes and chemical reactions. And often the best way to learn or relearn this material is through visualization. And that's where Kaplan's video lessons come in. These lessons do an awesome job presenting key principles tested on the exam in a very digestible manner. Each video lecture features a really sharp digital whiteboard, which presents the lesson text and instructor notes around a really nice mix of pictures, graphs, drawings, formulas, and various graphics that make it easy to retain concepts. And one of my favorite parts of these lessons is that oftentimes there's a short form outline that appears along the left-hand side of the screen. This allows you to kind of put things in perspective mentally and see how concepts build on each other. And it also helps you to keep track of exactly where you are in the lesson. So that's pro number one. All in all, I was just really impressed with Kaplan's video lessons. They don't quite have the production value that Blueprint's video lessons have, but I still found them to be highly effective. Okay, so the second pro with Kaplan is all about the structure of their course around those video lessons that I just mentioned. But before I get into that, if I could ask you, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and drop us a comment below, that would be appreciated. We're the only test prep company out here that does this much research and goes into this much detail for you to make sure you're making the right test prep choices, so any support you can show us goes a long ways. Okay, let's get back to it. So the MCAT can be a really hard exam to design a curriculum for, and that's just because there is such a crazy quantity of material to teach all across a wide array of disciplines. So essentially how Kaplan breaks down their course is into a couple hundred or so modules with the video-based lessons as the basis of each one. Then within each module, which covers a narrow subtopic tested on the MCAT, Kaplan assigns you a text reading from the book and inserts dynamic quizzes around the reading and video lessons, which all serves to reinforce and build on that material in the unit. These shorter modules make the material more digestible and allows you to rip off study sessions in short spurts, so you don't need to cram in huge blocks of studying. Plus, you can definitely see the build up from more foundational concepts up to the harder concepts, which I think increases overall material comprehension and retention. Bottom line, I just think the structure of their coursework was very well done. Okay, moving on to pro number 3, and that's the Kaplan MCAT live classes. And I get that not everybody out there is looking for live classes. A lot of people prefer to study at their own pace and drive their own prep. But for those that need the structure and accountability of a live class series, Kaplan is about as good as they come. And I think this has to do a lot with their instructors. While you don't generally get as many in-class hours with Kaplan as you do with the likes of Princeton Review or Altius, I think their instructors really make up for the difference. And let's be honest, most of the time it's not the lesson plan or quantity of hours that determine how well you learn. It's the quality of the instruction. And with Kaplan, we had no qualms whatsoever. Our instructor was all business, cutting through material efficiently and dropping in nice little side tips along the way. She got just how high stakes the MCAT is and was definitely eager to make sure we were all getting our money's worth. She was smart, knew her stuff, and most importantly, she knew how to teach it efficiently in 3-hour blocks. I was just a big fan of the Kaplan classes. Okay, so moving on to the last and final pro of the Kaplan course, the extras. So one of the cool things about the Kaplan MCAT course is that they hook you up with a boatload of supplemental resources. This includes things like detailed performance metrics, email support, and flashcards. But in my opinion, the most valuable by far is their MCAT channel. This is essentially an extra avenue to consume more MCAT video content. Just about every night, they host a short webinar that takes a deep dive into one particular topic tested on the MCAT. And I'll be the first to say that these lessons are insanely helpful, assuming you need help in that area. If you're already strong on the topic being covered that night, there's probably better use of your study time elsewhere. And that's just because they literally focus on that one narrow topic and go way into the weeds. If you're struggling in that area, or you could use a good refresher, then these lessons are awesome. They're insanely detailed. But again, if you're already good, you likely won't be tuning in. In any event, if you want to catch a closer look at these MCAT channel sessions, I'll have a link to our written review on them down below in the description. Okay, now that we've covered the pros, let's get to some of the cons with the Kaplan course. And the most glaring negative is price. And I'm sure this is the biggest gripe most people have when they see the price tag. At roughly $1,800 for their self-paced course and $2,500 for the live online course, Kaplan is definitely on the more expensive side of MCAT prep. If money is really tight, Kaplan might just not be in the cards for you, in which case I'd recommend taking a look at the budget MCAT course from Magoosh. It's less than $300 and generally a pretty good value. I'll have that link down below for you in the description. But I should mention that Kaplan does routinely offer discounts on all their MCAT courses, which can knock anywhere from $100 up to $400 off the final price tag, so definitely keep an eye out for those. I'll do my best to update that text below the video screen with any coupon codes or discounts that might be floating around out there to save you some cash on this course. Okay, so con number 2 has to do with the practice problem explanations. And basically my beef here is that the text explanations that accompany all of Kaplan's practice questions are a little thin. Generally, reviewing the solutions for the problems you get wrong when taking a practice test or just working a problem set is how you really learn. You don't learn just by doing. It's the review session where the learning really comes in. And frankly, I just found Kaplan's explanations to be a little cursory. Don't get me wrong, I think they do an alright job conveying why the correct answer choice was correct and the incorrect answer choice was, well, incorrect. They're just a little on the brief side and sometimes you're left wanting more. There was definitely a couple times where I was like, okay, well, how does that mean answer choice B was incorrect then? That's all. But if you get really hung up, you can always shoot Kaplan an email too. Okay, moving on to the last con, and that has to do with Kaplan's mobile app. And I'll just quickly say their mobile app is kind of lacking. Some other MCAT prep providers offer a really nice mobile app that gives you access to video lessons and practice questions, but not Kaplan's. Kaplan's mobile app just gives you access to around 1,000 flashcards. This is fine for quick hit studying while on the train or between class, but other than that, it has really limited value. I just think it'd be nice if you could get access to all your video lessons in the app and work some practice problems. So bottom line, the app just sort of lacks value. Alright, that about wraps up this video. So let's take one last look at the pros and cons side by side to help put things in perspective. And I should probably also mention, since you're studying for the MCAT, every single month we give away a free prep course to one of our subscribers just to help them prep. If you want your chance to win a free prep course, there's just 3 simple things you need to do. I'll toss those up on the screen right here, and I'll also have all the detail down below in the description. It's super easy. It'll take you less than 30 seconds, and you have a chance to win a free MCAT prep course. Save yourself some serious cash. Okay, as for those major pros, you've got number 1, some really high quality video lessons. Honestly, I think they're the highlight of this course. Number 2, an effective and smart course structure. Number 3, some of the best live classes in MCAT prep. And number 4, a ton of extra study resources, including their MCAT channel. Okay, as for cons, you've got number 1, high price point, especially compared to lower cost providers like Magoosh. Number 2, fairly thin practice problem explanations. And number 3, a mobile app with really limited value. But all in all, after thoroughly testing this course and comparing it to other options in the space, I do think that Kaplan provides one of the best overall MCAT prep courses on the market, all things considered. I know they might be more on the expensive side, but I do think they're worth the money and will give you everything you need to get a top tier MCAT score. And that's all I have for you today. I hope this video has been helpful and you learned a little something. If so, make sure to return the favor by subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and dropping us a comment below. That'd be appreciated. And if you want to learn more about the MCAT, or again, see our full detailed written review of the Kaplan course, jump on over to our website, testprepinsight.com, where we have a ton of great content on all things MCAT. As always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and we'll see you in the next one.